What if I told you that saying no to revenue might actually help your brand in today's market? Would you believe me? That opening statement seems counterintuitive, right? The goal of a business is to maximize returns for its shareholders. And it's tough to maximize those returns if you are saying no to sales opportunities. But are all sales created equally? When I started in the CPG industry more than a decade ago, the sales culture was to only focus on accumulating the vanity metric of how many doors or accounts were you in. And to be completely honest, not much has changed over these years. I still see a ton of investment decks from CPG brands or a bunch of brag posts on LinkedIn from executives talking about how their brand closed this account to bring their total door count up to X. And another layer to this is that depending on the CPG category and the common practices within it, a lot of these doors that you're getting into are actually being achieved by third-party distributors or by brokers or third-party sales agents. This is what you call the shotgun distribution method. Shotgun distribution is the approach of trying to cover as much as you can. This is sometimes called the stack it high and let it fly approach. The brand doesn't necessarily care where, how, what, or why something is selling, or they just want sales action that grow through whatever short-term view they were focused on at that moment. Can you imagine how that might be breaking down a little bit today? While there's some obvious points that I could make around brick and mortar physical retail, I'm going to focus primarily around the internet and how the digital channel has created some major issues surrounding the shotgun distribution approach. Firstly, around Amazon, and I guess I can group other marketplaces as well. These expose your distribution strategy and your pricing model because dozens of these sellers that you sometimes assume are selling through their physical retail locations, they then list these products online, sell them through a marketplace. They start to compete for a buy box against dozens of other sellers. As the inventory ages on their books, they start to decrease pricing to the point where it starts to affect other things for you. You then start getting calls from some of your other physical retail partners that are seeing this price online and saying, hey, how do we compete with this if you are pricing these products lower than we can? And then maybe even have Amazon calling you upset if you are dealing with them through a wholesale agreement because they have crawlers that are searching all over the internet and they're seeing pricing that is lower than the pricing that they're offering on Amazon Marketplace. So they being a price matcher, they match that price, but then it becomes not a profitable product for them. So it gets thrown into this crap list where essentially if you can't realize a profit, you then will either get delisted or the listing will get buried in some way that nobody will really see it and your sales will decline. On the other hand, all these years of this shotgun distribution left your brand with little customer data to leverage in the targeted digital world in which you live in today. You then have to basically rebuild everything from scratch, learn who your customer is, build those customer personas to target them through e-commerce. But as you're doing this, all of those digitally native competitors are starting to eat away at your market share because they already had that information. They're able to acquire that information on a much quicker and more effective way. Now, I want to throw an exception to the rule out here if anybody's listening to this from some very large, fast-moving consumer good brands that are in mature product categories. If you are a Coke or if you are a Lay's brand manager or sales member, your expectation is to be everywhere at all times. So the shotgun distribution model is one that has to continue to be effective in your business. Now, there's always an evolution that needs to kind of take place, and this is around how you need to consistently communicate now directly with your consumers. That's always going to be a benefit to you now today. and realize that the future of retail is online, and anything that you can acquire from an information standpoint or from a relationship standpoint is only going to become increasingly important in the future. So why am I advocating that you say no to sales? If you control your brand, you control your future. All sales are not created equal, and you must understand how those sales provide value to your brand long term. Today, I wish more brands would be focused on sales velocity over just total door count. When you can master sales velocity and take that step-by-step in larger retail channels, and this can be both seen in-store through brick and mortar retailers and digitally, you really have something valuable long-term to those shareholders in which you are trying to maximize value to. Controlling your distribution allows you to focus on retail partnerships that enhance your company's goals that aren't necessarily 100% focused on short-term top-line revenue creation. That is not always the answer to being a long-term sustainable CPG brand. As an example, assume you're running a startup protein snack company and you get a call from a buyer at a 200-store discount retail chain in the Northwest region in the United States. As a startup, small startup, you could obviously use this revenue, but you should spot a few problems. One, you are a premium product. You're positioned in terms of price and propositions as a premium product. Two, you're based in the Midwest and you don't really have any resources that are located up in the Northwest region of the United States. So what do? Do you say yes? If you're stacking it high and letting it fly, you obviously say yes. Anytime somebody wants to buy your products, you make it happen by any means necessary, regardless of what other effects that might have on your business. Now, if you're looking to control your brand and your future, you would pass at this opportunity at current time because you would not want to dilute your current pricing to fit their model. You wouldn't want to create unique products that maybe fit into that discount retailer's customer base because you don't want to risk existing customers maybe coming back to you and asking for some pricing changes, or maybe for you to create unique type of products for them, and you don't want this to leak onto digital to somehow affect your brand equity in terms of the perception of your national customer base. You would also be concerned that you would be diverting resources from areas that are already either proving that they are showing some value or maybe future things that are going to show a bigger value by trying to stretch something in the Northwest region that maybe is not the best fit for you. Now, I want to caution everybody when you're listening to this video that this type of distribution does require a business to understand their brand very well, their customer, and how the decisions with retail partners will play against their brand and their customer base. You have to remember that you do not have to be everything to everyone. At this point, you risk being nothing to no one. You can make a lot of money and you could be a successful CPG brand if you operate within the pockets or fragments of the market, especially initially when you're launching your product. But it also requires a leadership team at the CPG brand to understand that if you authentically stick to your plan and you put blinders on with your competition, you can have a better chance at winning. The hare might be flying past you in the race initially, but you being the tortoise that is moving with an intention towards its goal will catch up when the hare becomes lost later in the race. Remember, if you control your brand, you can control your future. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to help support me, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on this video. If this is the first time you've been introduced to my videos, would love for you guys to be a part of my community by subscribing to my channel. I upload several videos just like this weekly. And if you guys want to connect further outside of this platform, I do include all of my social media links down below. I just want to thank you guys again for your time. Hopefully I gave you some value in return, and we'll see you guys on the next video.